Hey everybody, it's hashtag 4th Art Saturday, and we're doing fabric this time. So, I have this faux leather fabric, and I'm going to make a key fob coin purse, and you can find a Rose and David US in the Etsy shop if you want this pattern. Please do that if you're going to make something like this, because, you know, everybody's a small business. You got to help them. Okay, so here's the thing about this fabric. It is heat activated, so one of the things that happens is if you hold it in your hands, and your hands are warm, of course, mine, they're freezing right now, it turns to camo. Yoo-hoo! This is green. I have pink as well, but I'm using the green one. So anyway, see, I have to heat up my hand, and it'll get really good. The first time you do it, it's really hard, but then after a while, it works really, really fast. Okay, so here we go. So I'm going to attach this. I'm going to use some glue, fabric glue, and attach you can use fabric tape as well, but I prefer using my glue because it dries really, really fast. And we're going to sew this on. Here we go. And while this is happening, I'm going to remind you that this is hashtag 4th Art Saturday, and we have a group of people that do this, and they take the prompt and they do what they will with it. And this is what I'm doing. This helps me because I do have a small business where I make these things and sell them at craft fairs. So anyway, so taking my little edge and making sure I leave enough room between that and the zipper, I am going to attach the zipper. I don't think I videoed this part, the sewing part of the zipper, because it's sewing a zipper. That's pretty self-explanatory. I would think. I do have sewing portion near the end of the video for when I do the inside. Now, I don't put a lining in this because it's got a nice soft inside. And so I'm matching out the corners here because I want to make sure I leave, make it as close as possible to the other side. Now, here's the deal. I didn't put the zipper thing on yet, whatever that thing is, which I can't seem to recall. For some reason, my brain forgets words. It'll come to me after I stop. So I'm gonna start off, make sure that I have everything aligned well, and once that happens, I'm going to pull the zipper portion apart and then make sure it lines up, because there's no way you can sew this when it's like this. So, and you see how it's changing colors just by my rubbing it. And that's because once you've activated it, it's a little easier. All right. So that's done. I'm going to trim and attach the zip part of the zipper. Yes. Sorry about it being blurry, because when I'm doing this, the camera is well above me and I can't see into it. So I think I fix it so it's not so blurry later. Well, you just try to get the two ends together, line them up, and then after you put a zipper on a couple of times, it gets easier and easier. You get the feel for it. The one thing you don't want is it to be misaligned. So turning it inside out, because now what we're going to do is we're going to sew up the bottom. And there's two things I do with this. There we go. See, finally got it right. I checked to see if it was blurry or not and made an adjustment. So we're going to attach the bottom, and I use a 3.0 stitch length and a zipper foot so that I can get real close to the edge. And that's what I do initially. And if I'm not putting a lining in, and I usually don't with my faux leather, because one, it's a little bulky and I don't feel it's necessary. I do an edging, a zigzag edging. So we're going to sew this. I hope you're all doing well. Yes, little fabric stuff. So there's the sewing, and I just clip the string and the edge just on the corner. Try not to hit the, yeah, see, this is, welcome to my world. I got string all over the place. There we go. And clip on the other side. And then we're going to do the zigzag. First I have to get rid of all the excess threads. Honestly, look at this. It's like it grows while you're waiting. You think you got it, and then another piece comes up. Okay, here we go. So here's the view. I have a zipper foot, and I'm going to do a zigzag. And the zigzag, you always have to adjust your zigzag, because I think, well, at least with mine, it automatically goes to a very small stitch length. So I have to watch that. And it just binds off the edge, makes it look nice. Of course, you can't spread that seam out when you do this. So there's that. And there it is as I fight with my seam, my thread cutter. Dang thing. And we just cut the threads. And see, it just finishes it off. It works really nicely for material, like cotton, whatever. Spreading out the edge and making it meet so that, and you want to go lower on the sides and pull on it to try to get it to straighten out. And because it's a triangle, sometimes it has a problem. You do the best you can. I don't worry about it because it's a small piece, and you might have to make adjustments. So sometimes one side goes and the other side doesn't. And if you go along the sides and come down, you have a little better time getting it to go correctly. Yep. You just sew it accordingly. And you do the same thing. We're going to do a straight. I don't know what I'm doing there. I have no idea what's happening. Oh, I'm trying to open it up so I can get it flat. Again, we're doing a straight stitch here. And like I said, it's stitching. We do a lock stitch at the end, only because it's a corner, and then we're going to do the overlock. Now, I don't have an overlock machine, so I'm doing a zigzag at the end and trying to, well, this one is just straight stitching, but trying to finish off those edges because it just looks nicer. It may not be nice, but it looks nicer. And that is my opinion. I-N-O. I-M-O. See? It just looks finished, It's not a very popular item. I guess because people don't carry change around anymore. But I will attach a key fob, which I'm going to show you because that's always fun to do. It's a pain in the butt. So we fix it so that we have the top, so it'll fit into, I think this is 1.25 inch key fob. I mean, you got to pleat the sides and get them to hold, because I don't have the contraption that stands as if stands on its own. It's a handheld. I say contraption because I don't know what it's called, and it will squish the key fob so it'll stay. See, that's it. it's a cam snap thing, and I have to put the little stuff on it. I mean, I'm not going to spend $100 on something that I don't know if I'll use a lot. And I get different things, like I can put snaps on and buckles and stuff like that. Now the thing is, I can't get the alignment for when you screw it in. I haven't figured out how to screw it in so it's in a way that works for this. So what I do is I use E6000 and put it into the key fob itself. And I'm going to put 2 in there because on one side I'm going to try to get it on the other side. And that will just be like a safety mechanism so that it will attach to the leather or the faux leather. And see, when you're like this and you put it in, it's awesome because you can get everything organized. You know, I'm trying to get the glue on different parts of the leather, and it's fine, but you can't squeeze it. There's no way you can get it to stay there without using some sort of tool. So now here's where, see, it falls down, and my life is so difficult. It is the hardest part of this whole thing, and you don't want to mar up the key fob, because, you know, every time I screw stuff up, I always say, all right, I'll just keep it for myself. It's like, oh my God, how much stuff can one person have? But anyway, now, yes, it is looking messy. It's because I squished it a little bit. But you can always roll off the E6000. You know, once it dries, you can kind of roll it off the metal. And this is a rainbow colored metal. And get that stupid key fob ring out of there. And I'm trying to get it in. This is where that standing tool would work so much better, because that would stand by itself, and I'm going to use 2 hands to maneuver this thing. So I'm doing the best I can, a little bit at a time. And yep, this is my problems. Especially when filming. What happens? Everything wrong happens when filming. So I'm not even in the right line because the way I have the camera set up. So I was trying to show you this stuff. Here it is. This is my world. And it's crooked. I need to make it straighter. All right, we're going to try again. I think we're better. I think we're better off. And I'm like desperate at this point to just get it on there. And see this thing, if it would just stay still, and I have a hard time with it because the bottom rotates and it drives me crazy. All right, so I'm giving you a good view. There we go. I'm very happy with this view now. And I'm going on the sides because I really try to make this secure. I mean, that's the last thing you want, is for something like this to come apart. But it works. It does work. Once it's dry, yeah, it overhang a little bit on the side, but I don't worry about that so much because the biggest thing is it's got to look neat, and it does. See the clippy marks, that'll all come out. Don't worry about that. That all comes off eventually. And we'll open it up, and you see I have a nice big area. So if you can, you probably, depending upon what your license looks like, you put your license in there. So here are the others that I've done. This one is Never Trust the Living. It's from Beetlejuice, which I love that one. And then my camo one. So I've made several. And you can see they're kind of cute. They work. Yeah, there's a little edging there. I'm a little concerned about that. But, you know, I don't want to cut it because that'll make it look worse. So we just leave it there. It just hangs a little bit. Don't forget to watch my next one. Say hi to my friends. Bye.